What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jeremy Speaks, and I'm coming at y'all again today with another video. And this is about none other than the news that has just broke that Michael Darby is about to sue Candiace for a whopping $2.1 million in a defamation suit. Allegedly, he sent her a cease and desist later last year, in regards to the comment that she made on the episode when they were at, the burn party. And I guess she had said that, your husband likes to allegedly go over to such and such's house and such and such and such. Well, apparently Michael Darby is now suing her for $2.1 million. And I have a couple of things to say. Now, it never amazes me how dumb Candiace and her husband comes out to look after everything that's said and done. Here it is. These women have lied visibly on your husband. The show has provided you truth and the audience truth to know that these girls have lied on your husband. But instead of going after them legally for actually having your husband lose jobs, you and your husband are all across, well, not you per se, but your husband is all across different podcast platforms talking about that he's just not like, they're still good people, he's not about that litigation life. And then meanwhile, here you are getting sued. The jokes write themselves. Like, why didn't you take this course of action when all of these women decided to unite and lie on your husband? Why didn't your husband sue all of these women? You could have used your housewives fund to fund a lawsuit against the women who's literally tried to dismantle your husband's reputation. But you and your husband said y'all not really about that litigation life. Meanwhile, Ashley Darby and her husband are now on their way to the courthouse to sue you and your husband. I'm weak. Every time. Didn't we tell you? Why are you like, it's crazy to me because it's like they are so passive when it comes to these people, and then in the reverse, they're never passive with you. Your husband should have been filing lawsuits against all of these women who've just made up lies, actual lies that could have really ruined him. But then he lets it go, lets it slide, and then now you are getting sued, sis, for 2.1. Now, this doesn't mean necessarily that this is a bad thing. I mean, it is a bad thing. But as long as you, Candiace, can provide truth over what you've been saying, and as long as Michael can provide truth that he's lost business opportunities, then you're good. Like, it would be really interesting if Candiace was able to provide, rentboy.com receipts or something like that maybe allegedly Michael could have used, and then she puts that all on Front Street, and then Michael has to understand at that point that she's proved that it's truth. You can't get sued for defamation if you're saying something truthful, and you also can't get really sued for defamation if what you're saying has not affected the bag of the person, I believe, or stopped them from getting, business opportunities. But yes, Morgan D. He's suing her for $2.1 million. And unfortunately, Candiace and her husband are not really about that litigation life like they said. And I bet they completely were unaware that this was about to happen. And my thing is this. So he been sending y'all cease and desist, and y'all haven't in return tried to sue and send cease and desist towards Giselle, Robin, and Ashley? This is insane. Like it's really hilarious about here. I would like, and I can't even get mad. I can't even get mad. I can't get mad at it. Because if you said something that he don't like, that he feels a lot, and he sues you for it, he has that right to. Y'all have the right to as well, but y'all not about that quote unquote litigation life. I don't know what type of black, tomfoolery y'all got going on, that y'all don't feel like y'all need to go to the courthouse about these serious allegations that these women have rose up against your husband that Bravo have proved were false. But y'all needed to do that. But I guess y'all wanted to just let it slide. Unfortunately, Michael Darby is not letting it slide. He's not a part of, this black tomfoolery that y'all got going on. Michael Darby says, y'all ain't about that litigation life, but baby, I'm all about that. He said, baby, I'm all about that litigation life. But understand this. Understand this, though. He's filing defamation suits, but y'all want to know what hasn't been filed? Divorce. A divorce has not been filed by neither party of the Darbys. Where's Ashley's divorce filing? Where's Michael Darby's divorce filing? Where's the divorce that we spent literally all this past season talking about? Does it not exist? Or is it all fake? Or did you guys learn how to reconcile? Because truthfully, you ain't got no money to get from him anyway, Ashley. We filing lawsuits, but where's the divorce filing? Huh? Where's the divorce? That's what I want to know that's been filed. Like I said, Candiace is a clown. Candiace and her husband are clowns right now. They sat here and let all of these women lie on her husband, and then she's gonna talk about, I'm not about that litigation life. Girl, look like Michael Darby is. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do, sir? What you gonna do, Candy? Girl. Candy, girl. Candy, girl. What you gonna do? Because to me, it really does seem like this has gotten serious. Ashley is determined to get Candiace by any means instead of taking the L from someone she thought was better. And what's killing me is that the woman that basically, in my opinion, spearheaded all of this stuff about Michael Darby doing things inappropriately. She was crying at the reunion because Ashley recognized colorism, just for Ashley after the fact to come and then have Michael Darby sue her for $2.1 million. I simply cannot. Can this even happen while y'all are on the show? Can this even happen while I mean honestly and truthfully, you can't get upset because Candiace should have did the same thing. Candiace and Chris should have did the same thing, but they said they're not about that litigation life. Y'all decided to let it roll off your back that these women basically accuse your husband of SA. So at this point, if Michael decides to take this to a litigation, then that's his personal business. Y'all should have did the same thing. Unfortunately, you did, and then those girls will continue to lie on you another year, another season. That's all I'm saying. To me, Candiace look crazy right now. Cause you sat here talking about y'all on about that litigation life, and these women, these women have rose up and sued you. Thank you, Ashley, for recognizing the bias of colorism against me that exists. Thank you, Ashley. I am weak. I'm weak. Y'all, I'm weak. I am weak at the things that we did this week. Not me having to hit a Wyclef John. Like, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. She better have those receipts. She better. She better, because although you didn't ask for receipts in a court of law, Michael Darby sure is doing it. Maybe next time you'll learn that. What's so funny? What's so funny? She said what she said, and they literally been accusing her husband all season. But I get you. I bet you after this, Candiace ain't gonna say anything else about Michael. But they gonna continue to say things about Chris though, because they're not in the court, because you haven't sued them. That colorist convo should have happened without Andy, with a true moderator, and Giselle still would have had that look on her face. I mean, they wanted a moderator. Well, Candiace wanted a moderator, but the rest of the women, I don't even think Candiace should have been moderating it. In my opinion, I feel like Wendy should have been moderating it. Candiace changes her stance way too much for me, because you definitely alluded on Twitter multiple times that there's colorism amongst the cast. But when you actually have the chance to say it out loud, you chose to say none of these girls are colorists. What? You've literally been talking about all of the different instances these women have held you accountable, but not everybody else. But you, in the same breath, feel like there's no colorism. Okay, if you feel that there's no colorism on the show, then what are we talking about here? There's no reason to talk about it. You can't change the audience. That's not going to happen, because you can't counsel a whole 800 to 1 million people. That's not happening. And if you feel like there's no colorism amongst the cast, then what are we talking about? Then what are you feeling in this group that's colorist? If you feel that there's no colorism amongst the cast, it makes no sense to me. I'm just saying, y'all, I really love Candiace on the show, but I'm gonna have to take a step back this upcoming season, and I'm gonna just have to look from a distance, because the way Candiace moves, I don't know if I can really mess with it. I wonder if they bring in this lawsuit because of the interview Chris did. He bashed Darby. Like, and I'm saying, like, y'all doing podcasts and interviews, but y'all ain't going to the courthouse. Okay, well, why y'all doing podcasts and interviews? These people at the courthouse suing you. Goofy. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? What's up? It's J Dub. How you doing? Like, why y'all are sitting? Like I said, why y'all are gonna sit here and basically, allow these girls to lie on y'all and your husband and make up all of these salacious lies that possibly could have gotten him, from what he said, actually ruined opportunities from him. And all he's doing is making the tour around all of the different podcast places instead of filing lawsuits. It's so disappointing. But you want to know something? Michael Darby ain't doing that. Michael Darby ain't around here touring different podcasts talking about what the ladies said about him were lies. He's going to actually file a lawsuit, like you should. When Candiace and Chris gonna learn? When Candiace and Chris gonna learn? They like, when Candiace and Chris gonna learn that these people don't like you? They not your friends. They never will be our friends. Y'all continuously is trying to take the high road when you need to get low down and dirty. Trying to catch me riding dirty. Meanwhile, Dr. Wendy chilling in the White House. Dr. Wendy chilling in the White House. Robin literally don't care about your feelings, but that's the one you look up to. I'm weak. Dr. Wendy is in the vice president's house with a bad blazer set combo, blazer pantsuit combo. Meanwhile, Robin is the one that you look up to the most. I'm done. Robin is the one she looks up to the most. Baby, what is Robin doing right now? But, Robin is the one she looks up to the most. Her sister. You know, she looks up to her. I'm just like, what are you looking up to? Like, what are you looking up for? What are you looking up at? like, what are you looking up at? What's up there? Like, what's up there for you to look up at, girl? What do you look? What's up there? Let me lift my neck up. Girl? What you looking at up there? Because I don't see anything. I'm weak. Oh God! I bet y'all thought I was gonna be angry, huh? I'm really not. If anything, I'm more angry at Candiace and Chris. I am crying. I am crying over here. You know, we all on our way to work, waking up, getting ready to do what we need to do to put food on the table, And I guarantee you, Robin is in the bed eating fruit snacks right now, knowing that after the show ends, she probably gonna be on unemployment. But this is the woman that you look up to the most. This is the woman you look up to the most. That's like, I'm just saying. I'm just like, this is crazy to me. Dr. Wendy is looking like a snack at, you know, at Vice President Kamala Harris's house, having a dinner, meet up, chill session. They probably playing spin the bottle. Meanwhile, you talking about you looking up to Robin. What is Robin doing? Oh, Dixon. I'm weak. I'm weak, y'all. I am weak. This was hilarious to me. This is hilarious. It's giving hilarity. Like I can't take Candiace seriously no more. I can't. And y'all know one thing I do is I stood for Candiace. But baby, if you wanna be the house in word to these people and allow them to abuse you, mishandle you, and not hold them accountable, not call them what they are, not sue them for lying on your husband, not your husband not suing them for lying, and also going up after all of this is said and done saying that they're nice people. Meanwhile, Michael is sitting here suing you. I don't know. Maybe she been too busy looking up at Robin to pay attention to what's been actually happening in real life. Girl, what you looking at up there? What's up there? Girl, let me look up. I don't see anything though, but okay. Maybe you looking for something. Maybe you looking for something to find to look up to up there. But it's giving crazy. It's giving weak. Wendy is at Kamala Harris's house. Meanwhile, meanwhile, Chris is doing a tour of different podcasts about what these girls said about him this season. I'm done. He's on the podcast tour, y'all. Meanwhile, Michael is suing your wife. You podcasting, but Michael is suing your wife. You podcasting, but Michael is suing your wife. This is why Mama Dorothy don't like him. This is why. This is why Mama Dorothy don't like you. She better ask Eddie for legal advice. No, she better ask Robin and Juan for legal advice. She looks up to them. Eddie and Wendy are over to Vice President Kamala's house. They're not paying attention. They're not paying attention to this. Jeremy, I'm glad you finally see the light. I mean, what light? I'm confused. What light have I saw? I've been calling this out all season. I've been calling the fact out that Candiace has been allowing these people to treat her like trash all season. I've been saying that. Chris likes being famous, apparently so, but Michael Darby unfortunately likes to sue your wife. So what are you gonna do about that, Chris? You about to hit another podcast? I'm weak. But honestly, God, thank you for waking us all up for another day. For giving us another chance at life. for allowing us to have another day of salvation and stuff like that. I know this is very odd to put in between all of this, but I just need us to all know that, you know, Jesus is the key, the truth, the light, and the way, and the only way. Okay? But you know, while Jesus is being the way, Michael Darby is being a threat to Candiace's bank accounts as he's filing for $2.1 million in damages. Chris is going to love to get back at Michael, but he can't get back at him because you doing podcast tours, but Michael Darby is in a courthouse filing lawsuits against you and your wife. Like, I'm like, why are you? I was like, why is Chris on all of these different podcasts? He to like, and then he be and like Chris be talking about, like, well, us on, like, us on the cast. I was like, Chris, you're not on the cast. You're the husband of a cast member. You're not a part of the cast. Stop calling yourself that. This is what Mama Dorothy talking about. This is Mama Dot talking about. Now I see what Shanitra was just. Shanitra, if y'all don't know, Jeremy loves himself some Shanitra. I love her. I love her so much, and I watch all of her videos. And you will oftentimes catch me in her chat or on the live with her. She really reminds me of a lot of my aunties and a lot of my family members back home from Florida. And it's no surprise because she is from Florida, but she cannot stand Chris. She can't stand Chris. She can't stand Chris. I hope Dr. Wendy and Peter sue Wendy for that. They won't, though. They won't. They won't. Y'all are letting these women lie on y'all, but y'all are letting these women, y'all not holding these women accountable. What? Girl, couldn't be me. The way I would have took half of my Bravo salary and began a lawsuit against half of the cast would have been hilarity. It would have been funny. By the time I finished with Giselle, I would have took that neck roll, those swollen ankles in her calves with me and put it in my bank account. Okay. The podcast tour it really is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Oh, y'all, this is like, it's been funny though. It's been funny, but like Shanitra is right. She often is right about a lot of things though, but she be right a lot of times. And like, and what she said rang true, you know, because real men with stuff to lose don't move like Chris. Although these women were wrong for making up these allegations amongst her about her husband wrongfully, of course. Like, it's not like they're being held accountable. Chris is out here saying that they're good people, not suing nobody. Doing podcasts. You doing podcasts, but where do you work at, Chris? If what you saying, J Dub, is that Candiace is light skinned, I don't think she is. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you mean? Giselle made Chris lose his job. So Giselle did make Chris lose his job. I ain't gonna say that she ain't about nothing. I ain't gonna say that. I don't think that's completely true. Mm-mm. So my question now is, what does Chris do for a living? She got 2 degrees, clean the house. I don't understand. Like the way that you're writing these is sporadic. I can't completely put together what you're saying. The job was a joke. Okay, you right. She got 2 degrees, clean the house. What do these things mean together? I'm weak. Okay. Chris is a house husband. Why did you just say that? J Dub be like, sometimes you be messaging like an uncle. I can't. I be trying to put this stuff. I be trying to piece together your points. Be so like you be like you write them in different messages, and it's hard for me to like piece it together. Child, look, I'm weak. But y'all, listen. Unlike Chris, I gotta go to work. You know, I went to college. I graduated. I was in the military. I served. I earned my money to get my degree. I went and got my degree. I have a pretty nice job. Room for growth. Unfortunately, I can't be on podcast all day. Okay, so I'm gonna have to hop up off of here. Unfortunately, I ain't got it made like Chris to live in a penthouse in the sky with no job, doing a tour on different podcasts while my wife works. When you should be suing, but then again, I have to understand that maybe Chris ain't got the money to sue. You know, maybe he can't sue the girls. You know, you have to pay that retainer fee, and I don't think he got it because the lawyers in DC probably expensive as hell. Candiace, get yourself a better man. Get yourself a better man, Candiace. This ain't it. Your husband is out here doing podcast tours, but Ashley's husband is suing you. I'm weak. And then what kills me is that your husband apparently has lost opportunities because of these allegations. But he's not gonna sue for the money that he lost. That's weak. That's weird. But he's gonna be going on different podcast tours. But y'all, besides my utter disgust and disappointment in Chris, I'm going to go. Hopefully, this plays itself out and we see what's gonna happen. You know, if your wife has to pay $2.1 million, I hope you start working then, Chris, and stop doing these podcast tours. He should start his own podcast. No, he shouldn't. He should go to work. He should go to work. He should go to work. That's what he should. He shouldn't be doing no podcast. But you want to know something? Me personally, I couldn't sit and just like have somebody just provide for me. I'm a little bit different. The way that I move, the way I think, I just can't operate like that. I have to provide for myself. I have to work. I have to do things. And it's very disappointing when you see a man literally going around on the podcast tour. Now, do I have personally anything against Chris? No. But do I think that's quite tacky, broke boy behavior? Absolutely. Why aren't you at work? If you at work, and you actually got a business to run, you won't like you gonna sue Giselle and then move on and continue to make that money. But you out here doing a podcast tour, keeping it up about what the stuff they said this season. Like, move on. I knew Chris wasn't about nothing when I went to the restaurant he claimed he owned. Then owner said he's the chef. I'm weak. I'm done, y'all. Not like is did that really happen? Let's blame Candiace for choosing. Back to selling fish plates to the kitchen. Like, listen, child, that is embarrassing. Not you claiming, not you claiming. See, if y'all end up finding my LinkedIn or whatever the case may be, I ain't lying about what I've done. You can check the LinkedIn, baby. It's there. Not only that, but the CEO of my company is friends with me on my LinkedIn. Ain't nothing I say lies. Wouldn't that be funny if you was lying about what you do at your job, and then the CEO who hired you basically looked at your LinkedIn resume and saw how much you were lying? That is hilarious. But yes, y'all, I can't. Yes, 100%. That restaurant story happened. Wow, that's embarrassing and that's real tacky. That's why she don't like him. That's why Mama Dot don't like him. Mama Dot want Candace to be with a strong, tall black man who's a lawyer like Wendy. That's what she wants. But Candace, maybe one day she'll come to her senses and drop Chris. But Chris is her best friend, child. He's her bestie. But y'all, I gotta go. I love every single one of y'all. I'll see y'all soon, okay? Understand that you are loved, and you can always search for Jesus. All right. So I love every single one of y'all. Have a beautiful rest of y'all day. I plan on doing the same. Peace.